Welcome back to Made by J&D. I'm going to do a little bit different video this time. I've been sponsored. If you get above a certain number of subscribers, and I've got almost 5,000, thank you for all the subscribers that have tuned in for my irregular videos that is just about anything. I'm building a fire truck over here, or at least a kind of a rat rod. And I do a lot of things around the house. Started this channel a long time ago, 2003. And yeah, but I didn't really get serious on it in about 10 or 12 years ago. One of the recent videos, you may have seen me use this press to press some bolts into a aluminum plate. It barely managed to do that. There was another job I tried to use it on, which was a bead roller. The bead roller I'd bought was one of the cheap ones, and it twists. You put a load on it, and it wanted to twist. So I put it on a really heavy. I beefed it up. We did a lot of welding, put in some half-inch plate, which ended up twisting the frame, and you could barely turn the handle. The bearings on it kind of seized it up, and I had to press that bow out of it. And I managed to make this jack work, but it was right at the limits of, well, I don't know how good this jack is, but certainly it was at the limits of the press, because this press was starting to twist, and it was getting pretty ugly. I was kind of standing at a distance because I don't know if these bolts are going to shear off or whatever. Anyways, this jack, this is a 20-ton. This is a 12-ton. This press actually came probably from Harbor Freight, but I'm not sure. I don't know how old it is. I got it for $50 at a garage sale. And it'll work. If I need to do some really strong pressing with it, I can beef it up. I have lots of scrap iron outside, and I can make it stronger. But I needed a good jack, and they're kind of expensive. You have several types. This is a good old manual kind. You use a big handle, you crank on it, and it pumps up. Takes a long time, because a 20-ton jack takes a lot of strokes to make it move. 12-ton, not so much. So yeah, I want to get a fancy one. They call them air over hydraulic, and it's basically an air pump on the side that does all the pumping for you. And anyways, as I was saying, you get above a certain number of subscribers and you get offers to collaborate. I've gotten dozens and dozens, but they're they're full of words of praise. They like my channel, it fits their product line perfectly, and then it turns out to be eyeliner or skin cream or toenail clippers or, no, I don't do that kind of thing. So I turned them down. But however, I was recently contacted by Mabel. That's her English name, based out of Kowloon in China. I'm familiar with that area. I worked out of South China Sea in the oil business. And yeah, so I'm familiar with Hong Kong, Kowloon, Shenzhen, special commercial district. This is before Hong Kong reverted to Chinese rule. And Shenzhen, basically, not Shenzhen, but Shekou. I remember Shekou. If you look at a map now, it's just this huge, place that's been built up, a bunch of houses and hotels. When I knew it, it was a little fishing village. There was a bay, fishing boats would pull in. Yeah, it was a quiet little town, but not anymore. If you look at the map even, in the middle of Shekou, there's a cruise ship. That cruise ship, when I knew it, it's called SeaWorld or something now. It was actually a floating vessel, and they were using it for a disco and things. It was in the bay. That bay is no longer there. The ship itself is surrounded by some water, but as far as you can see now, it's just houses and buildings and also a bunch of stuff. All that aside, I was approached by Mabel to try one of their products. And the product that she initially proposed, I can't remember what it is now, but it wasn't something I could use. But I went to their online catalog, and this is a company called Fab Heavy Parts, and I've included links. I'll try to do a little fancy thing at the bottom of the screen here, and then in the description there'll be a link to it. And in that catalog, they have hydraulic jacks. And they have a variety of them. They have a variety of colors. Let's go over now to the bench, and we'll do a box opening and show you what I got. Kind of a funny story. This was one of 4 boxes that were sitting on my porch. Now, I didn't know that these had been delivered, so I don't know how long it's been sitting there. Could have been delivered a couple days ago. But anyways, Mabel was following up, and she's very good at that, saying, have you gotten the package? And she's excited to see the video that part of the contract is I have to do a video on this and put their website, the link up, fabheavyparts.com. And yeah, so anyways, this is one of 4 boxes, and yeah, thanks to Mabel for prompting us to go look for packages that may have been delivered. Anyways, this is the box. I think this is right side up, but I'm going to open it upside down because it's a heavy thing and I don't want to lift it out of the box. That's it, just some cardboard packing. Comes complete. No, like I said, this is the green one. They've got 2 or 3 other colors. I think blue, red, yellow, and green. This handle, I think it's got some little things to keep it for shipping. Before I do anything, I guess I should read the book. Make sure I can commission it right. It's got some warnings, product descriptions. It's designed for lifting and not sustaining loads, up to 20 tons in this case. They can be used vertically or angled to 5 degrees from vertical. After any loads have been lifted, immediately support that load by some other appropriate means. Okay, these are made to be used in rated and properly designed vertical or bench press structures. They're not made for or recommended to use to lift a house or position a house or other building structure. They comply with applicable ASME, ASNI standards. For air-actuated use, ensure that your air source can dedicate is recommended. Okay, that's what it says. Okay, their English is much better than my Chinese, so that is what they're saying is make sure your air compressor is big enough. It goes through a bit of a chart, what your compressor, what your jacks are good for. Shows a picture, some description of the pieces. Before use, verify that the product and the application are compatible. Before using, read the owner's manual and familiarize yourself with this product and the hazards. Open the release valve, no more than 2 full turns. Okay. And remove the oil filler plug. That's right here. What's in there? It's just rubber. I don't want to break it. Got to try and work it out. There we go. It's okay, it's not damaged. With the ram fully retracted, locate and remove the filler plug. Insert the handle into the sleeve, into the handle operating thing over here. And help release, okay, and then pump it 6 to 8 strokes. It will help release any pressurized air which may be trapped inside this reservoir. Okay, I'm just pumping it. I'm not tightening that down. This has springs on it, I'll note. I don't need springs because my press over there has its own springs, so I'll probably end up taking this plate off of here. Okay. Make sure the oil level is just below. Don't know how I'd do that. I have some Q-tips over here. Let's try that. Nope, there's no oil just below. It doesn't say what to do if there's no oil. Okay, sadly, this is low on oil. It's about down to here, so I'm going to have to get some oil before I proceed. DTE 13. I did my homework, and this is Traveler Universal from Tractor Supply, compatible with mobile product DTE 13. So I just got to figure out a way to get this into there. I'm going to set it back on this chunk of wood here. That should allow me to fill that without doing too much damage. Found myself a measuring cup. I'll just use it for a thing to hold it shortly. Now it's much better. There we go. It's coming out now. Yep, right at the top. There'll be some expansion going on in there, so I don't want to overfill it because then it'd just be a problem leaking all the time. Good. I'm going to do this pumping thing again, continuing with the book to make sure I've worked all the air out of the system. Pour a teaspoon of good quality air tool lubricant into the air supply inlet of the lift control valve. I've got some over here. This is DeWalt. Fill this up a couple of times and call it good. Connect to air supply and operate for 3 seconds. Just happen to have my air compressor right here. And it's got the fitting that actually fits my air compressor. Okay. I don't have it cranked down yet, so it's just circulating. Done deal. That is commissioned. So let's try it and see how it works. Too much oil and everything now. Everything's slippery. I'm going to do the rest of this by hand. So I don't outdo anything here. Yep, that's it. So this handle here is made to use as a manual, and it has that little key so that you can run the little release valve there. It's just a pain in the ass to use. I don't expect to be using that handle, but I do expect to be using this release. Well, I made this thing. This is something I already had, but it's just a little key. It's just some scrap iron, but it's easy enough then to do what I need to do here. I'm just thinking the other thing I need to do is, I have other kinds of jacks. I'm just going to take this plate off of here. I doubt I'll ever take it off of the press. This is going to be pretty strong. These are some real strong springs. Let's see if I can work that off of there. It's not that bad. Okay, let's get this put on the press. This is slightly taller than the last one, so I've lost some stroke, but not much. I'm not worried about it. Okay, let's hook it up to air, see what happens. I'm just going to try to crush that piece of pipe there. Okay. I think that's good. Oh yeah, look at that. That'll do. Quite happy. Well, that's a win for Made by J&D. Thanks to Fab Heavy Parts for sponsoring me on this video and providing this jack. Well done. If you've liked this content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.